Well, what's happening? My name is Simon, and this is my documentary about something that really matters for me, which is rave culture. And I'm going to focus this documentary on rave culture in Northern Ireland. So, to start off, my journey started in 2016. That's whenever I went to my first rave, which was up in Belfast, the AVA Festival. You might have heard of it before, it's pretty big right now, but whenever I went to it, it was the second year of it, so not many people knew about it. Like at this stage, you would get people from all over the UK and from Ireland coming over. But the very first time I went to it, it was mostly locals, and I feel like it was a life-changing experience simply because it was the first time whenever I went out and I didn't feel judged by anyone. I felt like a sense of community, everyone was there for the music, the party, to have a good time instead of, going out just for the sake of going out. It was also really good to discover someone new, instead of just going out to your usual nightclubs, just having like the same kind of experience every time you go. Anyways, for me, I feel like raves are super unpredictable. You're just going in the mindset, I'm going in for the 6 hours or whatever, how long it is, to have a good time, meet new people hopefully. Listen to tunes, the tunes, lasers, the light shows, they're unbelievable. It's all art as well. For me, like the best part of it was really the community. Like everyone's really welcoming. Whenever you told someone it's your first rave, they're like, "Oh no way!" Like hopefully you enjoy it and all. And of course, there's like other substances involved and all, but it's not necessarily a bad thing. Like I feel like as long as people stay sensible, like there's nothing wrong with it. So. I'm gonna ask some of my friends to see how they feel about raves. I do know I did get a lot of my friends into that subculture as well. Like now, whenever we go to raves, we tend to go in a massive group, and it's class. Like, I enjoy going to raves even with one or two other people. But like, whenever you have that like whole group of friends with you, it's so much better. Like. And then obviously whenever the rest of the crowd is good and like enjoying themselves as well, it's just like, I feel like it's definitely something that everyone needs to try at least once in their life, because it is something just words can't describe it. But I'm gonna ask some of my friends now and see what they think about their experiences, and we'll see if there's any difference to mine. Do you remember like your first rave experience, and could you talk about it?
Yeah, I'm John McGovern. I work in hospitality at the moment. And yeah, my first rave was in Belfast. It was a Shine on Halloween about 4 years ago. And it was probably one of the better experiences I've had, just because of the sense of community and unity you have with other people in there. And everybody's there for the same reason, to enjoy the DJs and enjoy the atmosphere there.
Why do you enjoy going to raves, and like why do you come back to them?
Yeah, as I said, I enjoy going to raves because it's what all my friends were into, and then they got me into it, and it's just a really good way to bond with other people and meet new people, because there's such a big sense of community there, and everybody's there for the DJs, and then afterwards just to hang out with like-minded people who all like the same type of thing. And then I always return because it's something to look forward to. If you've been working for months on end and you've got something booked, at least you know what you're gonna be doing after 3 months, for a sense of release, stress relief type of thing.
Right, so Kevin, what was the most memorable thing about your first ever rave you went to?
Oh, my first ever rave would have been back in May, end of May. It was a weekend in 2018. It was AVA Festival, and then there was a night in Shine in the Telegraph Building. That would have been my first ever rave, and I can still remember it as clear as day. My first, obviously I primarily went to nightclubs before raves, and it's such a different culture. Like the crowd, the energy, the music, even the building. Like Telegraph building was such a memorable experience for me because you're in a massive warehouse. It's dusty, it's dirty, there's no seats. It's just you on the dance floor with your friends all night, enjoying the crowd, enjoying the music, and there's no fights, there's no one looking for trouble. It's just the energy, the music, the crowd. You just feel the music literally vibrating through your whole body, and it's an experience that I think everybody should, anyone that loves music anyway, should definitely experience.
And how often would you go back to raves?
Yeah, definitely. Obviously, the pandemic sort of put a dampener on a lot of people's experiences for going to raves, but any chance I get, it depends on the DJ playing that night. I like to go to raves every 3 to 4 months. I think it's better if you go every 3 to 4 months instead of every month, because then it's more special.
And would you say that people go to these events just to enjoy themselves? Like you never really see like people getting the hassle or like looking for trouble?
That's it. I have not seen one fight. Like I've been to like maybe 7 raves, maybe 10. I can't really count how many, but compared to the many times I've been in nightclubs, I've never seen one fight in a rave. And yeah, everyone's just there to enjoy themselves, and like it doesn't matter like who you go with. It's like it's not about like the drinks. It's all about just the music, and that's what makes raves special. Like everybody's there just purely for music.
Can you talk about your first rave and like what made it special for you?
My first rave was awesome. I don't even think it counts as a proper rave, but it was for Deadmau5 Mousetrap tour, and it was the year that Killing in the Name Of beat the X Factor for Christmas #1. That year, everybody there was in exceptional form. It was just great. The whole crowd, everything. Just everybody absolutely on the same level, same wavelength. Lots of people definitely on drugs too. There's no getting around it like when you go to events like this. But for the main part, everybody was having a really good time. Just all felt like one big collective. It's class. I remember it well. I do, very fondly.
And so would you say that that event has kind of like planted a seed for like you enjoying going to these kind of events? Like,
the thing that makes the difference is going to these kinds of events with your friends. It's no fun if you don't go with people that you aren't really close with, if you know what I mean. It's a lot more fun if you just go with your friends. And it will all depend on your friends how much fun you have. So that's what I recommend.
And would you still attend those events?
Would I?
Any night in particular you remember very well that like made it special for you? Apart from your first one that you just talked about?
There's been too many. They're all great. All raves are class. The culture, the scene, the atmosphere, the people. Like 9 times out of 10 you don't have a bad experience at all. So
So, your first rave, Sean, what's your most fond memory from it?
First rave, 2018, Halloween. Beats everything. The DJ I've been listening for a couple of months before that. And I just had a build up, excited to see him, and I was in the line, hear the music. And you know everyone's just feeling the same build up, and then you enter, and then it's like walking through a tunnel and the music hits you all at once, and it's just like you hit a euphoric state, and then you get to the main stage. It's just unreal.
And what about the crowd? What was the crowd like that night?
Crowd was sold out Telegraph in Belfast, a big venue. Everyone was enjoying themselves. It was everyone would chat to you if you wanted to chat, just have a good experience. Everyone was there. If someone bumped into you, they apologise. Just everyone's there to have a good time, and you just know you're with the right people then.
Would you say that positive experience has like made you want to attend events more?
Definitely. Before that, I did a bit of going to nightclubs, and nightclubs is nothing compared to a rave. Rave, just the community around a rave is they're just so, they bring you in and they accept you, you know.
So this is another interview for Rave Culture. We have a special guest. Tell us a bit about yourself.
Well, what's the crack? My name's Duncan. I'm a producer and DJ from Bangor originally, but currently doing a master's up in Derry. This is my little studio you can see in the background. I've been doing DJ stuff for about 5 or 6 years now. It feels like it's been forever. Yeah, I'm enjoying it so far and looking to keep it going.
What got you into DJing and producing?
Ooh, good question. I think the first time I think I enjoyed a gig, really enjoyed a gig, was we went out for my birthday whenever I was in halls. I think I was about 19 at the time, and we went to one of the shines in Mandela Hall, and I remember just going in through the doors and just being like, this is it, this is exactly what I've been missing this time. And yeah, it just kind of progressed from there. I remember going to a gig with a couple of friends, and one of them was driving, wasn't drink driving, he was just driving, and they brought us back to the house after, and he went into his room. We were all sitting around on the sofas, and he came out with this dusty ass blanket from under his bed, and we were like, what on earth is that? He takes off the blanket, and there it is, this ancient DJ controller from like 2003. But he said to me, if you want to take that, you can use that, because basically what we were doing is we had like a wee radio show on Queen's Radio. So we got the little DJ controller, and that was the start of the DJing. It made the whole world of difference from playing a couple of tunes on Spotify to actually having something you can use. So yeah, that was basically how I got started. And then after house party upon house party of spilled drinks and wrecked controllers, we progressively got slightly better equipment that was a bit more waterproof. But yeah.
So what was your first club night you ever played at?
First club night? Yeah, so first club I ever played at was like a thing through the EMS Society, which is like Electronic Music Society that's down in Belfast. Still something that we're a part of and we're keeping going at the moment. It's just kind of opportunity to get people gigs that wouldn't necessarily have the platform, and it was great. Very quiet whenever we started it, but it's got bigger and bigger as time went on. First proper club night that I would say is a club night, and there's these guys called Submission. They were running some parties in the Menagerie at the time, and got lucky enough to get a wee slot with them, and played the set of my life at the time. Had everything perfect, it was sat in my room for days on end just trying to get these tunes fitted together, and whenever I finally got to play and everything just went so smoothly, I was never been happier.
And do you have any favourite club nights in Belfast, for example, that you would attend pretty often?
There's a couple of good things happening in Belfast at the moment. I would say I'm more into like the cliche underground scene. I don't really buzz so much about the bigger stuff, where the big Telegraph building kind of things. But there's a club called Ulster Sports Club down in Belfast, and it's doing some really good stuff. It's got nights like Crilly. It's got the Star Room that does nights. It's got guys like Block. There's a lot of really good stuff happening down there, and Twitch as well. Really good guys as well. So yeah, all those nights are kind of, they've got a lot more. What's the word? A little bit more texture to them. So you're not just going to hear tunes that you've heard off Spotify 100 times. You're going to hear stuff you've never heard before, which is what I really like on a club night.
What are your future aspirations?
Future aspirations? That's a tough one. I think just keep enjoying playing tunes and getting opportunities to, do the odd gig. It might not be the, become a superstar DJ or get famous. It's more about just like having the opportunity to go to a party and do a party, and it just be fun. I think that if the fun ever leaves it, then I'll probably go back to the day job, as they say, but I think it's all about enjoying yourself and making sure that everything you're doing is a positive experience.
So there's actually one thing I forgot to mention about how attending raves has sparked a great interest in music and DJing for me. from like all the years I've been attending raves, I always thought like the DJ has like a cool job, you know, because they get to see other people having fun, but like he's in charge of the whole fun, if you get me. So a few years back, I bought my first DJ controller, and I learned the basics, how to DJ and stuff, but I thought that I could do better than that. So I think after like 2 years of having that DJ controller, I actually ended up buying like a proper DJ setup that I still have to this day. And as I said earlier, like attending raves has sparked an interest for DJing for me, and it is something that I would like to do for like a career, but it's I haven't really had much time because of university and all. Like I'd like to get more into it again once I finish uni, and hopefully everything goes my way and I'll be able to become the DJ I want to become.